Hello and welcome everyone to day 4 of the 22-day psychic cleanse. Today we are diving into the topic of abundance, and we're going to be visited by the Empress in the tarot deck. So she looks like this. One of my favorites. Of course, I say that about all the cards, right? Let me pull up my slides. Come on in, make yourselves comfortable, and we will get to it. Let's see, there we go, day 4, rolling right along. All righty. So, welcome back. Welcome for the first timers. I'm Charlene Murphy. I am an intuitive empath, professional tarot reader, psychic healer, all kinds of things, teacher, mom, you name it, I do it. So I'm happy to be back on day 4, talking about my favorite topic, which is spiritual development, psychic development, clearing ourselves. So one of the big reasons I do the psychic cleanse every year is so I can remain a clear channel, so I can do my work, well. So getting rid of or cleaning up the debris of life that gets on us, right? And making way and doing the forgiveness and clearing the toxicity and all of that, just ridding ourselves of the excess so that we can beam from our primary place, our source, our high self, so we can be clear channels, clear antennas, so we can not only give information, but we can also receive information. It's a two-way street, right? So that's the name of the game here. So in today's cleanse activity, we are going to focus on abundance. So let's talk about what abundance is. So abundance, a lot of people think it just has to do with money, and that is definitely part of the abundance concept. Prosperity, I think, or financial prosperity is much more specific with the finances. But with abundance, we can think of all things. We can think of all things: the money, yes, the health, the wealth, the well-being, the happiness, the joy, the pleasure, all of it. So abundance to me is a big umbrella of all the things, right? All the things that we want in our lives, all the things that we admire, appreciate, want in our lives. So who better to represent abundance and nurturing than the Empress in the tarot? So she is the fourth person in the hero's journey to show up. And I love how the tarot is organized by the kindness to really let us know that we have all the tools, that we are guided, guarded, directed, protected. We have everything we need to start any journey. So here we are, we start as the Fool, and then we learn these things about ourselves, through ourselves or through other people, about our brilliance, our inner brilliance, our ability to manifest, our ability to call in abundance, our ability to access our intuitions. You know, we are an amazing ghost in the machine over here, right? Capable of much. So looking at the Empress, what's the first thing you see? The first thing I see, and I dressed to represent her, is yellow. Yellow is the color of the solar plexus energy. And then there's orange in there too, which encompasses the sacral chakra. And I really feel a connection with the Empress and the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is the chakra that is about, that allows pleasure, appreciation, beauty, love, intimacy. That's part of our sexual makeup as well. It's located down in our sex organs, above the root and below the solar plexus. So it's where all the good stuff is, the good life, right? And so we can tap into the sweetness of being this human. And the reason this is such an important topic for me is because in our busyness, we forget, we don't notice the beauty around us unless we go for a hike intentionally or something. And so that's part of the homework here. I'm going to be asking you to do certain things, and one of them is to get out in nature. And I think that that's going to be like a good topic for today. Nature is, gosh, it's the it's the universe's way of telling you that you're fine, that you're good, that you have everything that you need. Look, we're supplying everything for you. And on top of that, not only is it efficient, useful, but it's beautiful. Did they have to do that? Did the universe have to make it so beautiful? I think there's so many gifts in the beauty that is involved with nature and all of the things out there as well. Even the appreciation of food, wine, art, music, what comes up for you that gives you intense pleasure. That's all the stuff of abundance. That's all the stuff of the sacral chakra. And that's all the stuff that is represented by the Empress. And so today we're tapping in. We're tapping in and saying, yes, please, more, please. Absolutely. So when we look at the Empress, we see that she's got 12 stars on her head. She's very connected to the cosmos, and she's also very earthy. She's connected to the earth. She's connected to the stars. So she has integrated herself, with the upper chakras, the lower chakras, being that I would call a whole person, right? She loves love. She loves beauty. She loves the good life, right? And the key words that come up for me when I think of the Empress energy is definitely nurturing, feminine, beauty, absolutely nature, abundance, of course. She's also an empath. She revels in pleasure and sensuality. She represents fertility. The pomegranates on her gown represent fertility. And according to the tarot, she could be pregnant in this as well. And so when I see the Empress, I see her pregnant with possibility. I see her pregnant with literally could be children, but more so for me, I see it as pregnant with creativity, like bursting at the seams, wanting that creative energy to come out. So when I'm doing readings for people and I see this, I'm like, okay, what are you brewing? What's going on with you that is wanting to express itself, right? So there's that creative expression that goes along with her. So this card is a really pretty one to look at. We see the nature, we see the trees in the back, we see the luxury, the pleasure, the comfort, the stillness, soaking it in, right? So as you go through this process, not only today, but through the rest of the process, I would recommend that you look around, that you see the beauty that is around you. I see right outside my window here, I've got a slider that goes out to my backyard, and there's this beautiful mountainscape right there that I can see. And then all the trees are starting to come up, right? It's beautiful. I just went out there last night and cleaned up my patio to make a sitting area for myself. And hung some lights up so I can be out there at night and really enjoy the vista and the view. And then one of the things that you can also do just to recalibrate yourself, say you're having a bad day or you're feeling off, the easiest thing to do to recalibrate ourselves and to realign ourselves, breathing, absolutely, but oh my gosh, touching the earth, like taking your shoes off and literally putting your feet on the grass or the sand or the gravel or wherever, whatever is around you. But connecting with earth is stabilizing, it's calming. You can feel the energy, the supportive energy of the earth really just envelop you. To me, it feels like, a hug from Mother Earth is hugging you saying, you're good, we got you, So not, I see this society that we live in when we have any kind of angst or any kind of upset, we have a tendency to reach for a pill or reach for something artificial or reach for something external. And I'm here to remind you that you have a pharmacy, you have cures, you have remedies right outside your door. So let's use those first, right? And then you can spare yourself a lot of time, money, side effects, all that other stuff just by being in nature, just by recalibrating, by going outside and taking a breath and walking on the grass, or hugging a tree, God forbid, right? Just all all of the things, and everybody that I know, I've never met anybody in my life who doesn't understand this, who doesn't know that. That's why we go hiking. That's why we go camping. That's why we get out in nature when we can, because we crave it. Our souls crave it. We love the connection of nature and being in nature, because that's when we feel the most abundant. That's when we experience the most beauty. That's when we are connected and disconnected maybe from our screens and disconnected from our jobs and disconnected maybe from the daily. So if we can incorporate that on a more daily occurrence, just go take a break and get outside and kick your shoes off and connect just for a few minutes every day. That's good medicine. That's the good stuff. All right. So if you have any questions about the Empress, go ahead and put them in the chat. And let's move right along. So today's journal prompt, I just want to kind of get into this today and make these lives a little bit shorter because I know that I can talk a lot. So the journal prompt today is, this is I have actually 5 things that you can answer on my website. I don't know if I explained this, but every day when we do the live, I'm also creating a blog post with the full lesson. So it's got all the things we're talking about, but it's more in blog style. And of course, because the slides are short, the slides are brief. On the blog post, you're going to get everything that you need, right? And so, for example, the journal prompt is a bit longer, and I'll share with you the rest of the journal prompts. So let's take a look. Reflecting on the concept of abundance and self. Oh, it's cut off. Let me see if I can. There we go. Reflecting on the concept of abundance and self-care explored in today's lesson, take a moment to delve into your own relationship with these ideas. So yes, I didn't hit on self-care. So self-care, nurturing, all of this is just so important in the psychic cleanse. Really taking the time to honor our body temple, our magical temple that houses our spirit. So, wow, let's be kind to it and kinder to it. And especially today, I would urge you to do something extra special nice for yourself. All right, so here's the prompts. You can answer these, write these down in your journal. How do you currently perceive abundance in your life? Big question. Do you even perceive abundance in your life? And if you do, how do you? Take inventory of the blessings, both big and small, that surround you on a daily basis. It's amazing when we look at the things that we appreciate, we actually are gifted with more things to appreciate. It's the law of attraction, the law of reciprocity. What's the other? Number 2, consider your self-care routine. Do you prioritize nurturing your own well-being, or do you often put the needs of others before your own, empaths? Guilty? Who else is guilty of that? I know that is such a common thing to do for empaths and women in general, putting everybody else before yourself. So it is a kindness, but you are just as important. So make sure that you put yourself in line, right? Put yourself first in line. Um, Reflect on any patterns or habits that may be hindering your ability to practice self-care. No excuses. But what are some of the things, patterns or habits that get in your way of that self-care? I don't have time. That's probably mine. Well, we have to make that time, and we have to schedule it, right? Scheduling self-care is necessary for me. Otherwise, it's probably just not going to happen. And so, I'm guilty just like everybody else. So schedule it, be more aware of it, and you can do something big on the weekend and small things during the day, right? So let me read the other ones to you. All right. Visualize yourself as the Empress in the tarot deck, radiant, abundant, and fully equipped to embrace the beauty of life. What aspects of your life align with this vision? What aspects of your life align with radiance, abundance, beauty? And what changes can you make to further embody this archetype, this Empress, this person who just loves it all and makes it nice and makes it beautiful and surrounds herself with beauty and goodness, right? The next prompt is to think about the role of pleasure and creativity in your life. How do you currently incorporate these elements into your daily routine? Are there any activities or practices you can introduce to cultivate a deeper sense of joy and fulfillment? What else can you do to add a little bit more fun, a little more spice, little bit more pleasure? How can you shake up your sacral, right? So when I had my office and I saw people in person when I lived in Pacific Grove, I had a hula hoop. I had hula hoops in my office. And so when I saw clients who came in for Reiki healings or readings, and I can tell that their sacral chakras were blocked and they just were not enjoying their lives and the pleasures of lives. We forget, we just get dulled. I would shake it up and pull out the hula hoop and ask them to do a couple rounds. Now, if that doesn't shake up somebody's sacral chakra, I don't know what else can, because before you know it, they're starting to laugh, they're starting to move their hips, they're starting to enjoy themselves and be childlike again. And then boom, it's a big energy shift. So what can you do to shift your energy, to remember the fun and the joy and the pleasure and the beauty of life, right? So we have to get ourselves out of our habits and our roles of our automatic negative thinking, our ants and things like that. And so you can have definitely things around your house that can help you with that. Music is a big one. Music is a big booster for the sacral. That gets everything going. Good music that really just moves your spirit. Jumping on a trampoline does it for me. That brings me right back to being four again. That's just a lot of fun. And then when you start to feel that fun, you start to see everything in a different light, right? But as we are these responsible adults, adulting all the time, that can get kind of slapped out of us. And so we have to work on bringing it back into our lives, right? That's why we're here. Okay, the last prompt is to set an intention for the coming days to prioritize abundance and self-care in your life. And so the question is, what steps can you take to nurture yourself and invite more abundance into your life? And think about and write down one actionable goal to support your journey towards greater well-being and fulfillment. Like I said, if we don't consciously think about it and schedule it, it can just easily slip by. We're just busy. We're busy beings doing things. So self-care is something, like I said, that we have to be intentional about, right? So there you go with your journal prompts. And then the creative meditation for today is to close your eyes and picture yourself lying beneath the vast night sky, twinkling with stars and galaxies. And as you gaze upward, you spot the familiar shape of the Big Dipper. Now, imagine the hand of the universe gently holding the handle of the Big Dipper, pouring out the most incredible stardust all over you, all around you. Feel the warmth of these blessings as they shower upon you. They're soft, they're light, they're beautiful, filling you with a sense of awe and gratitude. You're surrounded by an endless blessings, each one a gift from the universe. So I created this meditation years ago from, gosh, I was a teenager and I lived with my grandparents up in Mariposa, California, by Yosemite. The night skies there are incredible. There's hardly any lights to interfere with the stars. And one of my favorite pastimes was to lie on the hood of my grandma's car. She had one of those big giant boat cars, a Gran Torino. Yes, I'm aging myself. And I would lay on top of that and just stare at the stars. And lo and behold, the Big Dipper was right over our house. And I would see the Big Dipper and I'm like, wow, is that auspicious or what? It's like God's hand is holding the ladle and just pouring out blessings over our home, just ours, right? And and that image has just stuck with me and been with me forever since I was a teenager. And so that's one of the meditations that I do for myself when I want to activate abundance in my life, when I get to adulty, when I feel like there's something missing or I'm lacking or there's not enough money coming in my business or fill in the blanks, I will get myself to a quiet place and do my favorite guided meditation here or creative meditation, which is the Big Dipper. So I love sharing this with you. I hope you find it useful. You can imagine yourself or go out there under the stars and just do it, or you can imagine it in your mind's eye. Imagine yourself laying in a really safe, comfortable place, maybe on the grass, maybe on the beach, wherever you want to be, your favorite happy place, right? Your imagination is limitless. You can be wherever you want. Okay, our daily information for today. Use this one, write your own, whatever incorporates, and get it on your journal, your 22-day psychic cleanse journal that hopefully you've already downloaded, a nice place, or in your own journal to record your daily experiences and your shifts that you'll be feeling through these 22 days. Okay, daily affirmation. I prioritize self-care as a sacred act of nurturing my body, my mind, and my spirit, allowing abundance to flow effortlessly into my life. As we honor ourselves, as we open ourselves up to clarity, to abundance, it just starts to wash through us and over us. And we just open ourselves to the effortlessness of it, like we talked about the animals and the birds yesterday. Their existence is effortless, unless of course they're being hunted down by a predator, but that's part of life too. But in their normal everyday lives, when they're just doing their thing and they're raising their babies and they're gathering their food and they're making their nests and they're just doing their daily, they are completely, fully, 100% immersed in that divine intelligence where they just know and everything is provided for them effortlessly. So let's be like that. Let's allow ourselves. And how we allow ourselves is to meditate and to do this kind of work so that we can put a kibosh on the monkey mind, on the chatter of I don't have this and I don't have that and I need this and I need that. So we can just put that aside and we can really incorporate and embody this affirmation. Everything we have, everything we need is right here. It's available to us all. And we can just allow it to come into our lives effortlessly, right? Good stuff. All right. So let's look at the quote of the day by the late, great Mr. Wayne Dyer. I swear he's one of my spirit guides. I love, 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 love Wayne. Oh, one of the best people on this planet ever. Um, such a wise spiritual teacher, and just forever and ever, limitless, classic. And he said, abundance is not something we acquire, it is something we tune into. I think that says it all. We don't have to acquire abundance. We tune into it. It's already here. It's already here. It's already here. The Empress shows us that. She's surrounded by abundance. You are surrounded by abundance, an abundance of beauty, an abundance of pleasure and joy, and everything that you could possibly want is here. So let's look up. Let's stop the chatter. Let's look around and let's observe all the gifts that we are surrounded with and embrace them, and then give grace and give gratitude. And then when we do that, we're definitely gifted with more. It's just one of the universal laws that happens. Whatever it is we're focusing on, we're going to be gifted more of that. So when we focus on the gifts and we focus on the beauty, then we get more gifts and more beauty. We get more abundance, right? So I'm going to leave you with that today, food for thought. Enjoy this day. Take yourself out in nature. Go for a little walk. Kick those shoes off if you can. And just notice all of the natural beauty around you. And know that you're part of that. You are that too. You are it. It is you. You are part and parcel of the same beauty that surrounds you. And so don't forget that. And remember your inner brilliance. Tap in, tune in, and have fun. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow here at noon. Peace and blessings. If you need anything, reach out to me. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow.